So right now we're at the Sault Ste. Marie Canal National Historic Site in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And it's really special because it was built in 1895, and when it was constructed, it was actually the longest lock in the world. It was also the first lock to run on electricity, and it was the last link in the All-Canadian Waterway, which meant that boats could travel between Lake Superior and the Atlantic Ocean, only traveling through Canadian waters. There's still quite a few canals. We no longer use the All-Canadian Waterway. It's a different system now. A lot of them, we actually have another one in Quebec, it's called the Lachine Canal, and it is also a National Historic Site, along with the Rideau Canal. So there's quite a few along that original All-Canadian Waterway that are now National Historic Sites. The canal started being excavated in 1889. And it's great. If you come and check out the site, you can see that the red sandstone that was excavated from the canal was actually used to build a lot of the traditional buildings on site. So for example, the administration building and the powerhouse, they're both built using stone that was taken out of the canal when it was being dug out. How the locks work is that you have two main gates, and they're triangular shape so that the water pressure is higher on the end where the point is, and that helps keep the gate shut when the water level is higher on one side. And then when the water levels are the same, for example on the one side of the lake and then inside the lock, there's no longer as much pressure, therefore the gates can start opening. And so we have that on both sides. So you have the sets of gate between Lake Superior and the lock, and then between the lock and the St. Mary's River, which eventually becomes Lake Huron. And the reason why the lock is needed here is because there's a 6.4 meter difference between Lake Superior and Lake Huron. And the only way they connect around here is through the St. Mary's Rapids. Of course, big freighters couldn't use that for travel and for trade. Therefore, we had to build the canal with the lock system so that they could travel, like I said, from the Atlantic Ocean to Lake Superior. So it's actually one of the reasons why we're a National Historic Site. It's made completely of steel, and it was finished being built in 1896. And so it was the one of only 9 built in the world. It was the only one to ever actually be used in an accident, and it is the only one today that is still functioning. So the accident that it was used on was in June 9th, 1909, when the Lake Superior gates were open because ships were trying to lock through, and then another ship came through and hit the Lake Huron gates, causing them both to fly open, and therefore the water started rushing through, and that's when the emergency swing dam was actually put into use. And it helped slow the flow of water so that the lock could be back up and running quite soon after, and there was no injuries in that accident. It will rotate across the canal because right now it's parallel. So they will rotate it, and then there's wickets, which is like structural framing, and they'll get those down and push them into the water so that they're in the water like this. And then they'll have shutters, which are like long rectangular metal pieces, and they push them into the structure, and that helps slow the flow of water so that it's not as huge a torrent coming down, which allows for repairs to take place should anything ever occur. For Canada 150, Parks Canada is celebrating by offering free admission to all their sites. So if you go to any National Historic Site, National Park, or National Marine Conservation Area, people can get into that site for free and check it out. It's also a really important year because it is the centennial of National Historic Sites. Parks Canada has actually launched a new app, and so this app will help provide personalized packing lists. It will also help you plan your trip so that you can have an awesome experience. And some of the other things it includes is like hidden gems. It also includes fun photo frames and allows you to automatically upload photos to Twitter and Facebook. I think if they were to come check it out, they should definitely come see a boat lock through because it's amazing to see. You can talk to people and see exactly how it works. You can see the gates open, and the boats will rise or fall before your eyes in the water, and it's pretty amazing to watch. They can walk the trails on South St. Mary's Island and then Whitefish Island. Those are gorgeous trails. You can even see the St. Mary's Rapids if you walk towards the edge of Whitefish Island. Whitefish Island actually belongs to Batchewana First Nations, and South St. Mary's Island, which is just across the locks, belongs to Parks Canada.